there's one thing that you need to do when you go on your self-transformation journey, and that is knowing exactly who it is that you want to be. And you can't just have a general idea or a good idea. You have to know exactly the characteristics that you want to adopt and that you want to change about yourself. And so you can't just think that you want to be more organized or more spontaneous or more disciplined. These are all components of the person that you want to be, yes, and they're all important. But you can't just say you want to be more of this and that's it, and then automatically think that you're going to turn into that person and you're just going to become a complete person because of it. The way you're going to become a complete person and be the best version of yourself is by knowing exactly the characteristics that you want. And it's not easy to sit down and think about all the things that you want to be, right? It takes time, and you have to be very thorough about it. You can be very surface level, and you can sit there for 5 minutes and come up with a couple characteristics that you want. But that won't cover the whole entire version of you that you're striving to be. So sit down for yourself for a few hours, and this may take a couple days, and have your notebook open on your desk, because you may act certain ways throughout your day and throughout your week that you don't like, or you may see somebody else act a certain way that you do like, and you want to add it to your list. And so it's important to constantly update it. This is not something that's static, it's a very dynamic thing that's ever changing. And you want to get as granular as possible. You don't want to just say you want to be more consistent. You want to say you want to be more consistent when it comes to your diet, to the gym, to sticking to your routine. Whatever it is, you have to be specific about it and list those things out. Because again, consistency is the idea, but those details are really what matter. So that the next time that you do think about the gym, you think about, oh, I want to be more consistent about the gym. This is something that a lot of people skip out on. They think that if they just work on one thing, then automatically they'll become the best version of themselves, which may be the case, but it's very unlikely because you're headed in a certain direction, but you don't really have the right guidance, or you're not really sure of your path. Like, yes, you're stepping into the unknown regardless, but you want to have as much direction as possible. And you can give that to yourself by explicitly stating the characteristics that you want. Like for me, I have my list pulled up right here. And so one thing that I really want to be is I want to have an open heart. And I'm not just putting down I want to be open-hearted. I wrote, I'm always open to being vulnerable. I'm never afraid to share what I feel or what's on my mind. I also wrote, not afraid of letting people in. And these are the more specific things that, I can think about when maybe I don't want to have an open heart, or, maybe I revert to like old ways, if that's ever the case. But it is something that I really want to change about myself. I know I haven't always been the most receptive to love and accepting of love. Like, a lot of people have shown it to me, but I just didn't know how to receive it and feel that love. Like, I could very easily just like brush it off or act like it wasn't that deep, or that person didn't like really care about me. And so this doesn't mean just for girls, like it meant for anybody, for my friends, for potential friendships, or my family, or people in my family, to build strong relationships with. I just didn't always see the things that they did as loving. And that's because I wasn't receptive to it. I just didn't love myself. I didn't really know what love was. I didn't understand it. And so I didn't see these acts of love as what they were. So that is something that I really want to work on. And I wrote 5 or 6 bullet points for it. I didn't just write, I want to be more open-hearted. But that is important too. It's uncomfortable too, because you're also addressing the points of your personality that you lack. And nobody wants to feel lack, and it's uncomfortable. And this is a huge learning lesson for me too, because at the beginning of my self-transformation journey, I knew I wanted to be more consistent, more disciplined, more determined, and have better commitment. Like these were main points that I really wanted to work on about myself. And then all the while, I still wanted to be the best version of myself, but I thought that these four things would bring me there. And here I am a few months in, really questioning a lot of things about my personality. Like I do have those things, I do have these things now. I am consistent. I am more committed and I am disciplined. But there are parts of my personality that are still from the past, and I don't want that. And I have a vision for how I want to be, right? I think I've very much been introverted a lot of my life, but I want to be more extroverted. And so that is something that I wrote down. I want to be more outgoing. I want to have more spontaneous conversations with people, because that's something that I enjoy doing. I can feel it when those things happen, when they've been happening over the past few months. They bring me excitement and joy and happiness. And so I know that introversion wasn't part of who I really was. That was who I was for a while, but because of the situations that I was put through throughout my childhood and as I was growing up. But I know deep down, I want to be more extroverted, more outgoing, and I want to always have fun with people and talk to people and learn and have conversations with people, because that excites me. So yes, those first few things gave me direction a little bit, but those weren't the only things that I wanted to work on in my personality. And as I've learned those things, I've become a different person, and it becomes more clear who I want to be. I mean, I have pages and pages of things that I want to be and that I want to work on. And I think everybody does. As you start to change who you are, you start to realize more things about yourself, obviously, and then you start to lean certain ways that you weren't before. And it's natural, as you're going through your self-transformation journey, you realize things about yourself and you learn about yourself. And you start to figure out that you don't want to be exactly who you were. Like there were parts of yourself that you did like, but there were parts that you didn't, and that won't benefit you in the future. So they won't align with the person that you've become if you're, in your self-transformation journey, if you're in the process of it right now. And so you want to align yourself as much as possible by explicitly stating these characteristics. And yeah, it's not just characteristics, it's habits too, and tendencies, and it could be everything, right? The way that you want to act when you're in front of people, the way you want to act when nobody's watching. Like all these things, they really do matter, because they make up your character and the person that you are. So yeah, work on this, sit down for a few hours and a few days and weeks, however long it takes you. Constantly update your list. Obviously, you're not going to change the second that you write it down. And you have to be patient. Like these things take practice and repetition. Like you will revert to your old ways at times, but you have to be patient with yourself. You just have to get the reps in. But that's important. You need to have a place to start to get the reps in. You need to know where you're going. So, yeah. Go, do it. Get a piece of paper, pull out your notebook, whatever it is, and just start writing. It'll help immensely. Peace.